Good morning. Let's get started with a little bit of singing here. Okay. Here comes our guitarist.
What? Okay. And we're going to start with some lively music. And a song, Peace Like a River. So, we'll be small but mighty.
Here we go.
Now we're going to just bring it down just a little bit. And sing about taking time to relax and rest and rejuvenate.
Tuck it. Thank you, Chip and Bucky. And welcome. Good. And yeah, the slides were a little, they didn't type them in exactly the same way, but you know, it's advanced, it's, you know, we'll do the changes. Well, good morning and welcome to the Grants Pass Center for Spiritual. I'm Reverend Steve Van Meter, your senior minister, and I'm so glad to be here with you all. And let us begin by reciting our vision mission statement, which is up here, I think. It says,
We are open, loving, spiritual community dedicated to evolving consciousness through teaching spiritual principles.
So, we have some announcements here this morning. First off, all of our members should have received in the mail a stamped postcard for their membership update. Please get those in by the end of this week. We're collecting those and counting, and we need to get a quorum for our next meeting. The book study is reconvening on Tuesdays at 1 p.m. in the LEC building across the way. For information to join this fun group, contact Karen Jordan. The pop group is planning a field trip to Pacifica Gardens to do some work in their gardens, plus a possible art project and or a short hike. If you're into that, beautiful. This will be Thursday, July 29th from 8 a.m. till 10:30. Please call Linda Mullins or Bucky Dinnerly with any questions and to RSVP. Information is in the e-news, and there are flyers on the back counter if you're interested. Are you called to serve? Of course you are. We have some board member positions becoming available, and we would love to have some new energy as the people who have been serving transition into a new experience, and we are looking for some other people to join the board. So there are packets on the back table if you're interested in that. There's certain criteria you have to meet to be able to serve on the board. So please check that out if that interests you, and you can come talk to me about the positions and that sort of thing. If you have any questions, yes, see Paula Peterson, our board president, will answer questions also. Announcing Evensong, a great way to end your day. Kim Bibu, who is our ministerial candidate, or we'll call her our reverend yet to be. She just has a couple more things to complete before she gets her title, but she did graduate. She is going to be offering this wonderful time for you twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays, beginning August 3rd and 5th at 8 p.m. on Zoom. And it's the same Zoom number that you would click for Sunday service. And let's see. It's a time of meditation, song, prayer, and gratitude for the day. Join us for this peaceful close of the day. And it's approximately 20 minutes in length. It's just a short time to kind of wind down from the day. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings, we have a meditation on Zoom at 8:45 to 9:15. And then Tuesday, Thursday. So we got something every day of the week. If you're bored, it's not our fault. We're providing you with lots of spiritual activities. Women's free clothing exchange backed by popular demand. Right here, the sanctuary will be reset on August 21st. Arrive about 11:30 to arrange your clothes, what to bring, clothes and accessories in good condition that you are ready to release. Please come if you don't have anything to release, but just want to shop. It's so much fun, and we always have a lot of clothes. Anything left over will be donated to the Maslow Project. Finger food is welcome, hosted by Treja, and she's our table practitioner today also. So if you want more information, check her out. Check out the flyer on the community corkboard. And that is all that we have for now. We are going to stand and sing "We Are One" before Janet, our practitioner, comes up.
Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody this beautiful day? Excellent. Thumbs up. The gong. Gong is in. Let's finish with a big one. Please join me in gratitude. It should be right above me. Yes, it is. Okay. I am so thankful. I am a channel for good in the world. Once more. I am so thankful. I am a channel of good in the world. So welcome to Grass Pass Center for Spiritual Living again. My name is Janet Moray, and I'm one of the licensed practitioners here. And it's my privilege to be on the podium today and share a little bit of meditation stuff with you. So, as Reverend Stephen mentioned, Treja Wiley's on the back table, holding the high watch for us. And if you are in need of prayer, you can fill out, you can see Treja. Right over here, I saw him. A request for prayer that's in the back of the seats. Okay, we've got a yellow one in her right hand, which is the request for prayer. And the blue one is when we pray for you for an entire week, we like to hear what happened to the prayer. We like to hear your demonstration that the prayer worked. Okay, that your prayers were answered, I should say. So we have a plethora of flowers today. We have Darla, who brought the flowers on the right.
The left, you're right.
Yeah, our left, your right.
my right, your left. And Priscilla, who brought the others. So what's this wonderful theme of Is anyone here for the first time?
Oh, I am.
Oh, we got two. Nice. Oh, three. So, Reverend Stephen is going to bring you a packet that tells you a little bit more about who we are and what we do and what our philosophy is.
This is Sandy.
So, here comes the reminder. Turn off your cell phones, please, or anything else that beeps or screams or make any kind of noise. Thank you. Okay, so behind me, we should have a prayer on the screen. And let's read that together. Divine Spirit is powerfully flowing past me, and so it is. And let's do that again so I can say it properly. Divine Spirit is powerfully flowing past me, and so it is. So remain seated, and we are going to sing I Am Loved. So Reverend Stephen's talk today is keeping our minds on spirit. So we're going back to Science of Mind 101. I thought it would be nice to refresh my memory and to share with you what our founder has to say. Spirit, God within whom all spirits exist. The self-knowing one, the conscious universe, the absolute. Spirit in man, I apologize, this is old literature. Part of him which enables him to know himself. That which we really are, we do not see the spirit of man any more than we see the spirit of God. We see what man does, but we do not see the doer. We treat of spirit as the active and only self-consciousness principle. We define spirit as the first cause, or God, the universal I am, the spirit of self-propelling. Word, and the word is volition. It is will because it being God, spirit, chooses. It is free spirit because it knows nothing outside of itself and nothing different from itself. Spirit is the Father, Mother, God because it is the principle of unity back of all things. Spirit is all life, truth, love, being, cause and effect, and is the only power in the universe that knows itself. So I invite you to take a few minutes and close your eyes and think think about what spirit means to you and how spirit is in your life. And I'll call you back when it's time to come back to the center. And now I invite you to come back into the room. We're going to enjoy some special music now. And then after the special music, we will have a great talk from Reverend Stephen. Thank you.
I really love this song, and several weeks ago, Reverend Steve and I exchanged emails about different ideas as part of his talk, and one of the things he mentioned in his was time to take a rest and reemerge, and that's why we played the Relax song. And the minute I read that, this song just had to come into my head, and I know you'll recognize it. You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings, and with every breath you take, bless the progress that you make. The reason that you live is found in every gift you give. Love your life and love your dreams, and you will do amazing things. Amazing. out there having fun. So close your eyes, take a breath and smile. The reason that you live is found in every gift you give. Love your life and love your dreams, and you will do amazing things.
Here we go.
Love your life, love your dreams, and you will do amazing things.
That must have been the special music right there. Stephen's probably just gonna start talking.
Let's hear it. For Chip and Bucky. You guys rock. Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Here we are, the last Sunday of July. And, you know, time just keeps a rolling. So our monthly theme is Hold by Vision. And this week's title is Keeping Our Minds on Spirit. When we are mindful of the flow of Spirit through us, we can be at peace knowing our divine source is always working through us as divine perfection. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on Spirit. What did you wake up thinking about this morning? No judgment. This is why it's so important to have a spiritual practice, that when whatever happened yesterday starts to bubble up in the morning, you can reconnect with the truth. Keeping our attention focused on our relationship with and as God informed throughout the day and throughout our lives transforms our experiences because of our perspectives and perceptions of life are filtered through the lens of truth, love, and oneness. Let's keep our minds stayed on Spirit. You know, there's a lot of distractions going on in the world, aren't there?
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of things that are pulling us away from our spiritual practice. You know, it's like, well, how can you have a spiritual practice? Who has time for that? Well, if you don't go within, you go without. It gives us resilience and perseverance to meet whatever may come our way. Energy flows where our attention goes. If we're thinking about our challenges, what are we attracting? More challenges. This is scientific. This is the way our brain chemistry works. And because we have free choice, you can think about your challenges. You can worry. You know, I always thought if I could worry enough, it would fix the challenge. And all I got was more challenge. And I wondered what was wrong. Until I found this teaching and found out that because I was buying into the appearance of what was going on in my life and trying to fix it, I was the common denominator in my challenges. So the physical universe is the manifest body of the one infinite reality. Call it God, Jesus the Christ, Great Spirit, fill in the blank. It's your business. You get to call it whatever you choose. But I think we can agree that there is something that created us. We did not create ourselves. Maybe we had a choice in a little bit of the process, maybe. I'm not sure. But we find ourselves here. And the one infinite reality is more than just this physical universe that we can see. Actually, we are only seeing a small sliver of what there actually is. I had someone compare it to going to Disneyland when the lights are all out and you have a flashlight and all you can see in this world at Disneyland is what your little flashlight can see. And as you get to be more spiritual, somebody turns the lights and the rides on. And all of a sudden there's this whole world of newness. Creation is an expression of the one infinite reality. It is inherently good and is ever evolving towards greater expression of good. You know, we might be fooled by the news if we watch it too long and we start yelling at the TV. We start yelling at the appearance. You know, we start yelling at the result. And if we continue to wrestle with the result is getting our energy. So it grows. As we become mindful of the flow of Spirit through us and as us, we can give up trying to make something happen. You ever try to make something happen? I'm going to make this happen. You know, if it's supposed to be, it's effortless. And when it's not supposed to be, it's also effortless. But we wrestle with it, don't we? Oh, it's got to be this way. When it's really the infinite inviting us up in consciousness to a new horizon, a new vista. So let's choose to give up being fearful and being attached to outcomes. You know, it's not the destination, it's the journey. It's not if you win or lose, it's how you play the game. And that's what this whole teaching is about. It's about learning to play the game, if that is your analogy, as the winner already. What if you knew that you could not fail? What would you attempt to do? Everything. Let us learn to be at peace knowing the divine source is always working through us as divine perfection. Let us start by reminding ourselves of the power of this presence. You know, this energy created, you know, the heavens, the earth, our bodies. I'd like to see the blueprint when they were coming up with the physical body. You know, like, you know, is it, you know, how our fingers grab things and how, you know, we have this sensation of smell and sight. You know, who sat down and like did a blueprint and figured that all out, you know? So let us start by reminding ourselves of this power, of this presence that is waiting for our recognition of it. It will not superimpose itself and just make it happen for you, because then we would have no free choice. We have to decide to move our thinking from the challenge to the solution. Once you make that quantum leap in consciousness from the head down to the heart, we become the spiritual beings that we truly are. all of a sudden contacts begin to happen. All of a sudden the challenges start to work themselves out. We are beginning to remember that we are all channels of good. We can look at our life challenges and circumstances, at anything in the world, and know that we know nothing is more powerful than the divine source within us. We are powerful creators. We are. But it's only ours when we act the part. When we're playing in worry and challenge, and I'd be okay if it wasn't for them, and they're wrong, and they're bad, or fill in the blank, once we get above, I will say, or beyond that thinking, can we really discover what we're here to do? We consistently affirm that only good comes to us and from us. So how do we do this? One of my favorite sayings when I'm presented, and you've heard this a million times, I'm going to say it again. When something comes before me and I go, oh man, I have to say this too is good, this too is God, and I demand to see the blessing in this right here and right now. I demand it. And then focus on the solution and watch what happens. And if you don't know what the solution is, just think about what you know created you. What power do you believe in that created everything that is? And the more you think about what that is and contemplate God, Spirit, Jesus the Christ, Buddha, whatever, you've just moved your mind from the challenge to the solution. So let's just take a second and think about the energy that created you. Just contemplate that for just a second, what it is, how vast it is. It's almost too big for the mind to conceive, but it's great to play with, isn't it? It's great to go, wow, there's this energy that's allowing us to have these space suits and to wander around this planet. You just took a second and thought about that instead of your challenge. And that's how easy it is. But not simple. In the midst of your challenge, can you think about what you believe God is? That is what we're here. So I have a few tips. You know, I love to give out tips. You know, I'm always sharing my brainiac ideas with you that flow through me. It's God. First, we are all the channels of good on this planet. God didn't make any extra parts like my dad used to find after building our bicycle on Christmas morning. You know, he'd give me the bike and he'd give me a bag of spare parts. Like, oh, I don't know where these went. You might need these. God doesn't work that way. God doesn't make any extra parts. We may not know why these parts were made, but God knows, and God shows. That's what I say when I lost my keys. God knows and God shows. So show me where my keys are, God. But see, I just moved from the challenge to God, right? And it's as simple as that, but it has to be practiced. We are the channels of good on this planet. Good, the perfection of God, passes through each one of us. It is the divine urge of life that is seeking expression through us. As this divine urge passes through us, we become the outflow of the divine wisdom. And if energy flows where our attention goes, when we build that bridge, it gets stronger. It gets easier to go there in the midst of our challenge. This is why a spiritual practice is so essential, so that we're already prayed up. We're already paid forward or prayed forward. This is why waking up in prayer is a good idea. We put our entire trust in the law of good. Can you do that? Can you put your entire trust in the law of good? We activate our hearts, we embody compassion, and take powerful, meaningful action. Our minds are stayed on spirit as we move powerfully and unselfishly and consciously, knowing that it is spirit within us that does the work. As Emerson said, get your bloated nothingness out of the way so the divine circuits can flow. That means get your mind on God rather than the challenge so that it can do its work. It's just waiting for us to get out of the way. But the more that we think we have the answer, that it is us, the more we step on our air hose and we wonder why we can't breathe. Why we can't breathe? We activate our hearts. We embody compassion and take powerful, meaningful action. Unselfishly and consciously knowing that it is spirit within us that does this. Let it do it. That's why the 5 steps of treatment, the 5th step is release. Don't hang on to it any longer. You're hanging on to the challenge. If you're pointing at the challenge, is keeping it in place and growing it. Now you might have to take a minute and go, you know what? I'm going to just acknowledge that there is a challenge because my mind wants to acknowledge that there's a challenge and get over it. And go, you know what? I know that there's a blessing in this. There's a miracle waiting for me when I can let go. We have unqualified trust in ourselves and in our vision. Secondly, in every situation, we are the channel of the divine flow. Our structures and situations in our lives are also channels. For example, our jobs, our relationships, even our challenging situations, even things that seem wrong with the world, are all channels and tools for higher consciousness. See, that's the appearance. That's the appearance trying to distract us over here. Look at me, look at me. You've got the remote control in your hand. No one is keeping you on that station. You can get to the animal channel or travel. It's up to you. Let us not be confused about those channels. But remember, everything is part of the divine flow. Again, when you're presented with a challenge, this too is good, this too is God, and I demand to see the blessing in this. And fall silent. And just think about whatever you believe the creative energy is. And watch what happens. Watch your challenge disappear back into the nothingness from which it came. Maybe you even want to ask your challenge, what is your message? What is your gift? What am I to know? There's something to be known. Have you ever had a challenge that was a serial challenge that like you handled it? You're like, I'm cool now. And then boom. Somebody else, same situation, different face. Who's the common denominator there? You. Conditions change when we realize that spirit is our source. I say, gimosas. Gimosas. God is my only source and supply. Gimosas. Gimosas it. That's the acronym. God is my only source and supply. Make up your own word like that. But when you can have a quick little thing like that that takes you out of the energy of your challenge, the infinite can populate it and bring the miracle. Don't leave before the miracle happens. And it's waiting for our recognition of it. No matter how compelling the facts are, we know that the divine mind within us can create matter and circumstances. It created this universe. You think it can't handle your little abundance situation or your little relationship problem? And I'm not saying that to minimize it. I'm saying it to maximize the potential that we have to get through our stuff. By honoring the supremacy of the divine within us, we simultaneously put circumstances in their place as something that is subject to the power of love within us. Okay, love. Love is the answer. Whatever the question is, love is the answer. If we can love enough, if we can love spirit enough more than our challenges, they will take care of themselves. Now, this doesn't mean that you need to do a little work around something. It doesn't mean that you just walk away from every situation that challenges you. It means that you don't wrestle with it anymore. You don't hold it in place any longer. You look for the gift. There's a miracle waiting. Okay, thirdly, and lastly, our mind is stayed on spirit. Do you ever hear, keep your eye on the ball? Keep your eye on the ball. You're up there, you're looking at the outfield guys and third base, there's a guy on. You're not looking at the ball. You should be looking at the pitcher. You want to see that ball and visualize that bat hitting that ball outside the park. Keep your eye on spirit. How do you know when you've gotten your eye off the ball? When you're in the midst of the drama of the challenge. I love drama. Just love it. I love it because it's always a story about the cause of the cause of the cause. You know? This happened, and then they did that, and I did that, and then they did that again, and I did that. Blah, 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 blah. The truth is, all of our challenges are inviting us to expand our consciousness. And when we feel upset, it's because we didn't go. Because we said, you know what, I'm going to like my challenge more than I'm going to like spiritual energy. And we get upset because we know that that's wrong, but we don't know exactly what it is. Now you know. You just have to change your mind. Now this can be a process. You know, maybe you want to go have a little cry about something that happened that you're still hanging on to because you got hurt. We get hurt. You know why we get hurt? Is because we care so much. If we didn't care, it wouldn't hurt. But we care, we love. So think about the love rather than the challenge. Maybe you want to use love as your word for God. They're interchangeable. They are the same. Our mind is stayed on spirit. The mind may habitually believe in the power of the situation we find ourselves in, but we must forgive ourselves constantly. 70 times 7. That means all the time. Forgive, forgive, forgive. Others, yourself, the situation, and redirect our minds to the truth. What do we know is the truth? There is a power for good in the universe, and we are using it. How we're using it, you can tell by the track record of your life. Ouch. God is only good. Only Spirit's power is the truth. And as we know this, in the depths of our being, the depths of our soul, we open to a clearer vision of a world created from that divine nothingness. We are not here to repair something that's broken. That's not our job. We are not a reaction. We are a divine creation. Let it do the work for you. It's like stepping onto an elevator with a large suitcase and holding it while the elevator takes you up. You put that thing down, let the elevator take it up. You don't have to hold it the whole time. You need to give it over to the elevator. You know what I'm saying? But I realized I was doing this. I was moving a bunch of stuff and I was holding the stuff in the elevator. I'm like, what? You know, let's work smarter, not harder. We create from everythingness and the nothingness of divine spirit. It is the everything, it is the no thing all at the same time. Because there's a whole bunch of stuff going on that we, with our little vision, can't know. And that's okay. We're not meant to know some stuff. If we did, it would melt our face. So, you know, it would just, we're not ready for the information. You know, if the divine truth of everything was revealed to you, it would freak us out so much that we'd be like, I don't know what to do. So we're given little tiny bits of information. And today is one of them. Move your mind to the solution. Move your mind to love. Let us liberate ourselves and the world with a vision never before conceived. Love is the answer. So in conclusion, let us lean into the flow of love. Literally saturate ourselves. Go ahead and jump into the deep end of love. It will float you. It will. Infinite Spirit is always expressing itself as us right now in powerful, innovative ways. We trust this divine spirit within us. We listen to its guidance. We never give up. No matter how compelling the circumstances may appear, we must trust the spiritual truth within us. If things are not working out, we have a trust issue with it. We're not ready to give it over completely. It's like taking your car in to have something fixed because you don't know how to fix it, and then standing there with the mechanic, and every time he touches your car, go, no, it's not that. Oh, no, don't touch that. You got to give it over completely. And for insurance purposes, they don't want you in the bay anyway. So you need to go in the waiting room. So the mechanic can do what he does. We need to let God do what it does. We must give it over completely. Can you do that? Most of us give it over and we take it right back. We're like, oh yeah, I gave it to God, but nothing happened, so I took it right back and I'm worrying about it again. And it's what we do up till now. Now we can walk away and go have a walk in the park and know our car is being fixed, or whatever it is. In shifting our focus from the challenge to spirit, we put the world in perspective. Spirit is love, fairness, and truth, and it is all flowing through us right now as divine revelation, right here and right now. Now is the time for us to listen to our inner voice, the inner voice of spiritual vision. We are the ones we have been waiting for. What you're looking for, you're looking with. Look no further. Be a finder, not a seeker. It's good to seek. It's nice to find once in a while too, though, right? I mean, all this seeking, we better be getting somewhere with it, right? And when we find it, it's not out there somewhere. It's always been right here. What a trip. What a trip. But hasn't the jaunt through the wilderness been fun? We are the ones we've been waiting for. Let us keep our minds stayed on spirits. So it is. Well, it's time now for the prayer. So I invite you to close your eyes if you want, or take a soft focus on the flowers or something that takes you deeper so that you can connect with that power. I know that there is a power. It is always on. It is always working. And as it waits for our recognition of it, we find ourselves within it, as it. Each one of us unified in that field of all opportunity. Each one of us is God in form. Each one of us is a cell in the body of God. It can be no other way. So as we begin to look at our situations from a different perspective, as already solved, as already blessed, as a miracle, whatever it is transforming right here and right now by divine right action. That's right. Because of our recognition of it, it is moving. It is laying the way straight for us to follow so that we can understand, so that we can know something that we didn't or that we have forgotten. So I don't know what you're walking through right now, but I know what the answer is. Love. Moving our minds from whatever the situation is, how big or how small, to the solution lets God call us in every moment of our life. And as we allow that call to take us over, we may even start to forget what our challenge was, and that's the point. Let it go. So I know that there is a miracle happening in your life right now as your challenge is in disguise. So let us be grateful for the solutions. Let us be happy and joyful about the resolution. Things have come into our life and caused us pain because there's something to be known. And as we know it, a beautiful sensation washes over us of pure healing, pure revealing of the truth. As we let go, placing these words and this prayer directly into the living, loving law of God, it is transformed. And we let go completely. And we embrace love. For love truly is the answer. As we affirm it together by saying, so it is. Okay, well, it's time for our offertory idea about sharing. And let's go ahead and say this together. I am conduit for divine abundance as I give with joy. One more time. I am a conduit for divine abundance as I give with joy. So it is.
And so it is. And beginning of, remember at the first song, Steve said, well, you know, sometimes just go with the flow. Change it up, go with the flow. And he lives by what he says, because he came up to me and said, yeah, we're all together again in the sanctuary. Why don't you play a song for offertory as well? I said, oh, okay. I think this will fit, and I hadn't planned on doing any of my songs. I usually do at least one of my songs, but I picked some songs I thought fit the service. But this one is one, so as it turns out. More than ever I imagined, greater than we could have known. So much richer is the harvest when the seeds we have sown come from fully green. Without compromise, when we're grounded in the spirit, when we cast our fears aside and believe, when we believe, we will receive full abundance in our life. So I will live my life abundantly from this moment. I will start to share the good that I can be with the power of the heart. I will face each day in thankfulness. I will let the Spirit shine, and I'll believe. I will believe. I will receive full abundance in my life. We believe. Yes, when we believe, we will receive full abundance in our life.
We couldn't have planned that any better than that, and it wasn't planned. That's a perfect song for our offertory. So let's bless this offertory. From the love of pure spiritual energy, these tithes and gifts have been collected. They are evidence of our faith, our belief, and our ability to manifest in this world of form. They do good work in the world. They bless the giver and the receiver, knowing that the Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living is open, is available, and is teaching love to all who choose to remember who they are, and even those that don't. And for this, we are all so well blessed, as we affirm it together by saying,
And so it is.
Well, it's that time for our closing song. Chip and Bucky, give us some music, would you?
Okay. And, you know, oops, I don't even need this. I've missed Reverend Steve's "Thank You Life" in person. So if you thought that was appropriate for the offertory, here's the lead-in for Reverend Steve's closing.
If you want to stand up, maybe feel that spirit. Carry on. Your heart, your body. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This evening.
Something wonderful is happening right now.
Something wonderful is happening right now.
It's happening in my mind.
It's happening in my mind.
It's happening in my body.
It's happening in my body.
And it's happening in the body of my affairs.
And it's happening in the body of my affairs.
I think it.
I think it.
I feel it.
I feel it.
And I know it. Just the way that it is.
Just the way that it is.
And just the way that it is not.
And
Just the way it is not.
Thank you, life.
Thank you, life.
Have an awesome week, everybody. God bless.